Hello and welcome everybody to the Byte-Sized Brief. It's Sterling and Danny, and we got quite a few pieces of news to share with you today. Starting with Galaxy Unpacked, which was kind of underwhelming. Okay, Danny, what products were announced?
Okay, so right off the bat, I must just say that I do think this year's Unpacked was probably the best paced, but I also think it was that just because there wasn't that much that they showed off. So they really only showed off two products, and that is the S26 Ultra and the new Buds 4 Pro. Now, there is the new regular S26, but like they have been doing for the past like years, they didn't even really talk about it. Like they talked about it for like 2 minutes. All they did is reveal that they raised the price. That's basically all they did. So we have the S26 Ultra, which they're calling an agentic AI phone now. And as you may or may not know, the big feature for that phone is the privacy display, which we talked about in our rumor recap. It turns out that is true, and thankfully, everything seems to be, like, when it comes to the features, good. Although it has been revealed now that there is a few downsides to it. Downsides as in, like, decreasing your display resolution by, like, half.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the privacy display feature is really cool, and it's great because it can automatically turn on and off whenever you need it to. So honestly, the resolution hit is not that big of a downgrade. I mean, obviously, it's a downgrade. It'll look less crispy. Your screen will look less crispy, but it's not too much of a downgrade if they can't see it at all. Because if the people beside you can't see what's happening on your screen, I would rather take half the resolution than someone just reading all my text from my mother or my father. Or if I'm in my baking app saying how broke I am or whatnot. And it's just, it's good. It's just, I wish it didn't have that downside where it didn't cut the resolution in half. And because it cuts the resolution in half, there's a good chance it also cuts the brightness in half. Probably not visible brightness in half, but probably about like a 25% decrease in like physical brightness because there's less LEDs turned on right then. So there's going to be overall less light being emitted. But there's also new features, new chip, I guess. The new chip that's faster. Yeah, it's a fast chip. Okay, it's more power efficient. It got 2 more hours of battery life in Mr. Who's the Boss battery test.
The design slightly different.
Oh yeah, it has a new back glass. Oh, there's the new Horizon Lock feature that might be coming to last year's phone. Yeah, the Horizon Lock feature is really cool. It's where you have your camera, and then no matter how you orient your camera, it'll always stay upright in center, which is really cool. But it might be coming a software update for the last gen phone too. So if that's so, that's not a new feature. That's just a new software feature.
Yeah, and a lot of the new features they talked about were just new software features like now or nudge now or now nudge or whatever it was called.
Yep.
Where it's just like in Google Messages where let's say someone's like, oh hey, can you send me the photos from your vacation 2 million years ago? I don't know why I said 2 million. Anyways, it will like recommend you to do that and it will select it for you and all that. And then it can also now, Galaxy A can access your notifications now and show it in Now Brief. They also did show off the new Gemini that can work in the background and like do basically everything for you now, which in my opinion is cool, but also not cool because now people are like, people are gonna forget how to use their phones if they're just telling Gemini to do everything for them. I mean, I doubt it will work that fluently where they literally don't have to really do anything on their phone anymore. But I still just don't. It's just like I did. No.
Yeah. I mean, that feature's really cool, and that's why they have the right to call it an agentic phone now, because technically it's an AI agent that's doing stuff for you. Kinda. I mean, yes, it does, But it's still not agentic where it understands, like, everything about you still. It's just you've given it a task and it does that task for you, which it's sort of like an agent, but still not what we're looking for. But it's a really cool feature. For example, they showed off you can have it order food for you, and all you need to do is confirm checkout. So it'll automatically, in the background, open that app up, tap around the app, add items to your cart from your preference list or from what you told it to get. It'll add to your cart, or even from like a group chat. So you can say all these items from the group chat, add them all to my cart, which if it does that properly, that's be really impressive. I highly doubt it's going to do that well because like, oh, I want this. No, I want this. Oh, wait, no, I want this instead. I highly doubt it's going to be able to understand like they will change their mind 10 times on the same item. But if it does, that's
Yeah,
really cool.
everyone's food order is gonna be messed up. They're gonna be like, "Why is there bologna on my pizza? I didn't tell them to do that."
Yeah,
And then
that's why you have to confirm before it checks out. It's basically like, hey, it may have done a horrible, awful job and you would have been better doing it yourself because you would have done it correctly the first time yourself. But hey, it can kind of do it. I mean, what else are you going to be doing in the meantime while it's ordering food for you? What are you going to be doing in the meantime? Anyway.
yeah, and then they also unveiled the new Bixby, which has AI from Perplexity in it, one of the more lesser known things. It looks really cool because it can do more system level things, but I'm not really sure if it would be better than um Gemini, which they already have Gemini, so it's kind of like why like I don't know, it's a bit confusing. In a way, it's kind of almost like what Apple Intelligence is doing with implementing Gemini, except they're implementing Perplexity along with all the other things with Bixby. So I guess you have options, which is a good thing. But my question and let me finish the software features. There's also a new photo assist and image editing studio. Basically, you can take your photo and just have AI make the whole entire image. Like, literally at this point, you might as well just generate a AI image from scratch. I am against this type of AI image editing because it really just takes away any identity, and
Yeah,
these days, there's not.
Yeah, I mean, it's just you're taking a photo and then you are replacing every single thing about that photo that made it the photo. Hey, I can change the shirt I'm wearing. I can change to have someone right beside me that never was there in the first place. That is not what a photo is. I mean, there's a whole entire debate. What's a photo? What's not a photo? Let me tell you, if it's AI edited to make the scene different, it is not a real photo. Yes, you can play around with like exposure levels and contrast because that's not changing the pixels themselves. It's changing the color of the pixels, but it's not changing it to something completely new. I'm not changing the shirt I'm wearing. I'm not adding someone beside me. And that's taking every soul out of any photo. And unlike Google, with like Google's AI, they have Synth ID built into the photos. So Synth ID is like a footprint inside of the photo's code itself. You cannot remove the footprint of the inside the photo. So whenever you upload the photo, every single service knows if it's AI or not because the photo has a specific Synth ID in it. With Samsung, they're not implementing that at all. So you can just write that as a real photo and no one could tell the difference.
So yeah, and those are all of the software features with the phone. But my question about this is, like the Horizon Lock video, will this possibly be coming to older galaxies? Because if that is true, that just took away like almost all of the major new things that they marketed this phone about, honestly.
Mhm.
And so to recap, this is all of the new features, including hardware. So now Nudge, it can summarize your notifications. The new Gemini, which is just Android 17, and it's not coming out right now. The new Bixby, it has the new Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, slightly faster, the privacy display. The cameras, they're the same megapixel count and everything. In fact, from what I know, they're the same sensor. It's just they increased the aperture.
Yeah, aperture increase is really
And
good though.
yeah. And then photo assist, the slight new design, better low light video because of the aperture and the new image pipeline, a better cooling, and then APV video. Now on the surface, that sounds like a lot, but when you start to look at it, most of that is just software.
Software,
And a lot of
software.
Yeah. And a lot of even the hardware things are like very minimal things. Like the slightly faster chip, the slightly newer design, the slightly better cooling. All of that most of that you're not going to even see, like the better cooling. It will be better, obviously. You don't want your phone to overheat. But yeah, and they spent most of their time on the software features, I feel like. And like I said, some of them may come to the older phones because I think the S25 Ultra can run basically all of that. Like I don't honestly think it's a case of it has to have that new chip to run it. I mean, I don't know, but I don't know.
Yeah, and from testing so far, it seems like they didn't really make the chip much faster because they just cut down on its power use. At least that's what it seems like. In benchmarks, it does go faster, but in everyday tasks, it seems like it goes the same speed, but uses less power while doing it, which it's better battery life, but saying it's faster when it usually isn't faster because you're just making it go slower on everyday tasks, slower, which it keeps up at the same speed, but it's using less power. It's kind of disingenuous to say, oh, it's 30% faster, 15% faster, whatnot, when you're making it 15% less power consumption. So in other words, it's the same speed, but does the same amount of amount of stuff in the same speed.
Yeah. Now looking at this design, I actually really like this design. Like, I like it so much better than any of the other designs. I personally hated the box corners
Oh,
with
same.
the sharp edges. And then finally with the S25, they started rounding it, which was good. It could use a little more, but they rounded it even more now. And I also really like the camera design this year. I think it looks really good. I think it could use a little more rounding, but overall, I do really like this design. It's probably my favorite out of all of them. I think it looks really good. I also really like the color lineup. Like, I know the cobalt purple is like the big one, but I actually really like that sky blue color. So overall, I think they did a really good job on the design. Now, is it some whole new design from the S25? No. I mean, it still has the same camera layout and same basic design. It's a bit thinner. I think it's also a bit lighter. But overall, I actually really love this design. Like, I would honestly go as far to say that I like the camera layout better than, like, the iPhone 17. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of that plateau, just with the odd spacing. I like the roundedness more on the 17, but I kind of like the camera design more on this.
Yeah.
But one thing they did not talk about the design is that they switched back from titanium to aluminum, just like Apple did
Yeah,
with the
they did.
17 Pro. And I know some people have said it's for cost, and it might be for that reason, but it sure does look bad on Samsung that back in 2023, when Apple switched to titanium and made a big deal about it, the next year they did the same thing. And here again, history repeats itself. Apple switched back to aluminum, so did they. Now, Apple made a bigger deal about switching back to aluminum than Samsung did because Samsung did not even mention it. But still, if it is a coincidence, it definitely does not look good for them.
It doesn't, and I mean, it was a cost-saving measure, especially because they ran out of RAM for themselves, so they have to get RAM from another company now, so they have to spend a lot more on that RAM because it's not their own in-house RAM anymore. But it's like, come on, guys. We went to titanium, and you advertised titanium as a good new feature because it's stronger. Yes, it is stronger. And now you switched back. I mean, yes, it's not too big of a deal because aluminum, titanium, yes, they're stronger, but it's not much stronger. And overall, aluminum has better thermals, which is what Apple says, but it's just a little bit better thermals. And it just feels like when they removed Bluetooth from the S Pen, it feels like they're cutting corners that they shouldn't be cutting. I mean, I understand if they cut corners that don't change the experience, like removing Bluetooth from their pen, that changed the experience for me. I use the pen to take photos when my hands are full. I used the Bluetooth feature on the pen to switch my pen tips in Samsung Notes. And now they removed that, so I can't do that anymore. And then for this year, they're just changing the material to something that's slightly less strong. I mean, it may have better thermals, but it's less strong. I don't want a weaker phone.
Yeah, and I honestly wish Apple didn't do it either. I'm being honest, titanium's my favorite material they've used. Aluminum's fine. I didn't really like the stainless steel. I feel like stainless steel made it almost look like a toy just because of how shiny it was. But I really liked the titanium. And I don't hate the aluminum. And honestly, I've thought about getting the 18 Pro if I can afford it and trading in my current phone. But I honestly am kind of concerned about the durability just because there's been a lot of things going around about how durable it is. I think some of it's exaggerated, but it's still definitely not as durable.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
and I do like titanium.
Talking about the price, it technically did not go up this year. At least the Ultra did not. The Ultra is technically the same price, but they are no longer offering the free double storage upgrade anymore, which was a really big selling point of the S24 series, because if you were to buy it within 1 week of its launch, instead of paying for the 256 gigabyte, you get the 512 gigabyte for free. They're not doing that anymore. And for the S26 and S26 Plus, aka the last year's phones in a new body, they went up by $100. And it's for me, if I were to buy the phone, trading in my current phone I have right now, it would be $999.99. And
Is
my
that the
trade-in,
S26 Ultra?
yeah, S26 Ultra, and I'm trading in an S22 Ultra. If I trade my S22 Ultra and get the S26 Ultra, I'm paying $1,000 for a new phone, which makes sense. But if I didn't have a trade-in, it would be $1,500 if I did not have a trade-in. I'm sorry. That is, I mean, I know it's a good phone and whatnot. It's super high production value. It has super long software support. But still, that's a lot of money.
I know. You can literally, that is the price of the baseline MacBook Pro. And honestly, Apple is a bit overpriced when it comes to that. Not anymore because of the RAM shortage. Anyways, it's still like a lot of money. And I just think the most outrageous thing is the price increases on the base models.
They didn't change anything. They're the same phone. Okay, sorry.
All they did was they took the S24 Ultra, which is really the S22 Ultra that they've just been reusing for several years now, took out the inside of it, put it in a new design, and called it a day and raised the price by $100. Literally, the S26 Plus, which is just the bigger version of the S26, is $1,099. That is the starting price of the iPhone 17 Pro.
And that is not comparable. That's not comparable. You can't do an iPhone 17 Pro and then a Samsung S26 Plus. The Plus and the Pro and the Plus and the Ultra are completely different phones. The Ultra's the good one. The Plus are the less good phones. And you cannot compare a Pro iPhone to a regular base Samsung. No.
Yeah. And honestly, the poor base models, they've been neglecting them for years, honestly. I think it was the Galaxy Unpacked 2021 was the last one where they actually had a dedicated segment to talking about the regular ones.
Yeah, they don't even, they had the S26 and S26 Plus on screen for 20 seconds of the whole entire hour, 30-minute presentation. 20 seconds. And it was just a spec sheet. Nothing about it. That was it. Because they're just okay, everyone's just going to buy the Ultra and we're going to call it a day there. And they're not thinking about other people who don't want the S Pen. They don't want the extra good cameras. They want a good phone. At least the bare minimum, they could have kept it the same price. The bare minimum, just keep it the same price. But they said no. let's make it more expensive for last year's phone with a slightly new chip.
They also added a new video format called APV, which I'm not exactly sure what it stands for, but I'm pretty sure the P and V stand for professional video. I'm
Yeah,
not sure
advanced
what the A.
professional video.
Oh yeah, advanced professional video, and it is kind of their rivalry to Apple's ProRes and ProRes RAW.
Mhm.
It looks good, but from what I've looked into, it's still not quite as good as ProRes RAW. It's probably as good, if not a little better, than the regular ProRes, but from what I looked up, it's not quite as good as ProRes RAW, because ProRes RAW supports OpenGate along with Genlock, which OpenGate means it just shows the full sensor, which I know iPhones can't do 8K, but actually, when you do OpenGate, it's actually slightly higher resolution than 4K. I think it's around 5K from what I've seen looking into it. Now, it can do 8K in APV, but it doesn't have, if you literally look up a spec sheet, it doesn't have the same amount of
Yeah,
control that you would get.
but at the same
And
time,
I'm sure,
they already had it, sort of. They had a different version called Log. Remember when they released Log last year? Isn't it
yes.
practically the same thing? Because Log was basically uncompressed video footage, and then APV is compressed raw video footage. So, what is the difference between them?
Well, log is actually just has to do with the color standard. It has a lot more dynamic range, and even though it's compressed colors, it actually gives you so much more. The iPhone's had that since 2023. I use that all the time. It's very good. This is more when it comes to quality of that. Because like ProRes RAW with log and log. The log part is the color codec, and then the ProRes is the format of the video, basically. So they are two different things. So log just has to do with the color space
Yep.
on that. So I mean it's great. I love log. The iPhone's had it for several years now. Anyways, I just had to make that joke. Anyways, I mean it's a good thing, but yeah. So that is the new phone. And most of the new things are just software features that may or may not be coming to older phones. So, yeah.
At least they're coming to the older phones. That's something.
Yeah. And then moving on, we also have the new Buds 4 and 4 Pro. I can't remember if they talked, I think they actually may have actually talked about the regular Buds 4, but they have a
Yeah,
new
they did.
woofer and tweeter, so better sound quality. You can also adjust the EQ now. They have better
Oh, we've
noise
been able to
reduction
adjust
along
the
with.
EQ since the Galaxy Buds 2. That's not a new feature.
Oh, well, they showed it,
Yeah,
so
they showed it, but it's
that's
not
what I
new.
had in. Yeah, and a better noise isolation. They also showed something about noise reduction in the event, and it did not sound that good because it was like for a microphone.
Yeah, it was called
It didn't
quality, like,
sound good.
background removal. It didn't sound good. It sounded like they sound like they were actually AI. Because it sounded like, oh, you could hear them fine, but there's, like, background noise, whatnot. They turned it on, and all of a sudden, it sounded like they were being compressed really badly. It wasn't even good compression, and that was the demo they showed. I don't think this feature is gonna be very good at all, to be honest. But setting that aside, overall, the improvements are pretty good. They have more battery life. They have significantly improved, noise cancellation. Even Marquez Brownlee, he did a review of them compared to the AirPods. He, I don't remember the conclusion he came to, but I remember him saying that they were practically exactly the same as AirPods, if not slightly better. Because the sound quality technically is better, but the noise cancellation was slightly better on the AirPods, and the AirPods were slightly like, uh, something else about the AirPods were slightly better, but he liked the design of the Galaxy Buds better. So he's like, they're the same thing. And that's finally about time because even the ones I have right now, the Buds 3 Pro, they were a couple steps behind in like noise cancellation. They weren't as good. And mic quality definitely was not as good. But now they finally stepped it up.
Yeah, so basically now, if you have a iPhone, get the AirPods. If you have a Samsung, get the Galaxy Buds, basically, I guess is the conclusion that you could come to. And then moving on from
Oh, by the way,
the
they
same.
removed something from the earbuds.
Oh no, what is it this time?
Okay, they removed a very unnecessary point, the lights on the
Okay.
side. I never use the lights, but they removed earbud trade-in. They don't offer earbud trade-in anymore. I got these trading in my old earbuds and got a $100 credit. And now their new ones, I asked the representative. They don't offer trade-ins for the new ones anymore, which is absurd. I don't know why they chose to do that.
Yeah, I mean, Apple's never had that option, so
Oh, they don't?
no.
Okay, never mind.
At least not in the recent years. So yeah, moving on from that though, this is kind of a last-minute topic that I added in, so I don't know if you'll have it up. But Tim Cook has confirmed that we will be getting new products next week. I'm not sure if we talked about this in the last podcast. I quickly glanced at my notes and I don't think we did. But basically, creators got an invite to another Apple experience, and Tim Cook tweeted something on Thursday confirming it. It's going to be one of those things where we start out on Monday, get some new products on Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm actually really excited for this. Most of the products are going to be really boring, like the 17E, the new iPads with the same iPad just with a new chip in it.
Mhm.
But my main thing I'm excited about is this new budget MacBook that we actually talked about like in one of the very early episodes.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about this
Oh, yeah.
because I think it will be a very good entry point for the Mac and the Mac OS. And for what it's recommended use case for, I think it will be really good.
And I'm gonna say I'm probably more excited for this affordable MacBook than you are, to be honest. I'm not a Mac guy for the main reason that I don't want to spend so much on a computer for it to have macOS. If it had something better than macOS, sure, whatever. But this is going to be affordable and have macOS, and I'm willing to take that trade-off if it has the same build quality as a MacBook for a cheaper price. Honestly, I personally might buy that. And that's coming from me. I've used Chrome OS, I've used Linux, I've used Windows. I do not like Windows. Windows drives me insane. Linux was way too empty and Chrome OS was way too limited. If this is as good as they say it's going to be right now, all the rumors and stuff, I might get it myself. And that would be my first entry point into personally buying an Apple product. I mean, I've used other people's Apple products before. I never really liked them because it's like, why does it work this way? Why does it do that? Why is there 5 pages in the control panel instead of just 1? Or why is the notification split into 2 sections? And just random things like that that I would not personally enjoy because it just takes so much longer to do, like 2 seconds longer. And but anyway, if this turns out to be a good, like viable option, I'm going to probably get it. I will switch this old, beat up Chromebook / Windows / not Windows / half Chromebook / Linux computer that I have right here. Yes, it used to be a Chromebook. It's now running Windows, but it was running Linux in between that, and it works enough. It crashes randomly because if the battery percentage thing doesn't work and I can't gauge the battery. But I'm just excited to finally have a MacBook that I will personally want to buy. If it isn't like subpar performance, I will personally want to buy it and probably will buy it to get rid of this.
Yeah, so honestly, I'm really hoping you buy it now. Definitely one thing I will say, if you buy it, at first, you probably won't be that fond of macOS because for me, there's a lot of tweaking you'll do at first. So, I mean, I probably will show you a few things. But once you change some settings and do some things like that, I at least personally like it. Coming from someone that has actually used Windows longer than macOS. So, there's definitely some limitations, but I honestly think for what you do, it would be fine. So, again, we'll have to see. But yeah, I'm really excited about that. Not that I'll be getting it because
Also, is there a way to hide that bottom dock? Because that bottom dock drives me insane every time someone takes a screenshot. Is there a way to hide that bottom dock? Like have it go down?
the one with all the apps?
Yeah, how do you make that, like, go away? Does it automatically go away or
You can either have it's actually just like Windows, you can either have it permanently there or automatically hide.
Okay, good, because if I couldn't do that, that would be a deal breaker for me because it's taking, like, 50% of the window. I'm like, "Ugh." Every time I watch it, there's the window, and then there's the taskbar down there. I'm like, "It's taking up so much space." Okay, anyway.
Oh, yeah. You can have it set to automatically hide just like on Windows. I just personally don't like that. I like to have it there at all times.
Mm.
I also have the thing turned on where if you hover your mouse over it, it will, like, make the certain app bigger on mine. But, yeah, and you mainly just have to right-click on the dock. Actually, if you can actually click it right, because I accidentally clicked on it. Yeah, turn hiding on,
Mhm.
and then if I do that, it automatically hides it even when it's on the desktop, and you just hover your mouse at the bottom, and then it'll pop up just like on Windows, so,
Well,
yeah.
if I end up getting a MacBook, I will let you guys know how it go because honestly, I don't think it would be as bad as I'm thinking. I think as long as I get into that settings panel and change everything to my taste, I think it could be a permanent switch for me, honestly. I mean,
Yeah,
unless the aluminium OS comes out and it's better, but we still have to see about that.
yeah, and the I would say if this was, like, 5 years ago, you wouldn't like it,
Mm.
but, the latest version, I think, is a lot better. So, yeah, overall, I'm really excited about that. That was just a quick little thing, but moving on, we have a new Wi-Fi vulnerability apparently, so what do you know about this?
Okay, so yet again, there's another Wi-Fi vulnerability. But last time this has happened, it was just for a couple brands of routers. It wasn't anything too serious. But this works for every single router running the WPA2 protocol, which is every router in existence right now. Any Wi-Fi router in existence uses the WPA2 protocol. And it is basically, I'm not an engineer, I don't exactly know how it works, but it's someone can connect to your Wi-Fi. If they connect to your Wi-Fi, they can act as a middleman attack, which isn't new, but this is unfixable because in the protocol itself, they can't fix this problem. It's a middleman attack is where someone, like if you try to go to Walmart.com, your phone says, "Hey, I want to go to Walmart." Your router says, "Okay, got it," and tells Walmart, "Hey, we need Walmart," and Walmart goes to the router and goes to your phone. But in this middleman attack, there's someone in between where it goes to your phone, says, "Hey, I want Walmart." But instead of going to your router, it goes to the guy in the middle, aka a hacker, and he can be like, "Okay, you want to go to Walmart? Got it. Just let me check all your credentials, make sure I check all your passwords and your email address for Walmart. Okay, got it. Where you're buying on Walmart? Okay, great. Here's Walmart." And your phone has no clue that it just did that. And that's the problem because in the WPA2 protocol, it's unfixable for every single router. But on the side of caution here, it's only if you're connected to the router and that person is connected to the router. It won't just happen to your personal Wi-Fi if they can't connect to it. But this is actually pretty terrifying. If I'm on public Wi-Fi especially, everyone's traffic can be routed to him or the hacker or whatnot.
Yeah, honestly, it's one of those things that they're always like, "Don't use the public Wi-Fi," but there actually is threats like this. So, mainly, if you see some random guy with a computer in your backyard, then you may wanna just double check he's not on your network. But that is definitely because, like, your phone thinks it's communicating with the router,
Mhm.
but it's not. It's communicating with that, and like you said, there's not really a way to fix it with WPA2. I don't know about 3. Most new routers use 3, but a lot of them still use
But
2.
but the problem is, even if the new router used WPA3, it still reverts back to WPA2 for all the devices that don't support WPA3. So like your printer, I guarantee you your printer does not have WPA3. Guarantee. It's going to use WPA2 for those devices.
So, yeah, sounds like if they're gonna fix this, they're gonna have to actually update it on the devices. Now, does that mean a software update to the device or or just a new hardware with that on it?
I do believe that it is unfixable from software. Because of the protocol itself, you would have to update every single device that ever runs WPA2. Every single device, which even if they update the WPA2 protocol, every single device has to adopt that instantly. Because if they don't adopt it, they will no longer be able to connect altogether.
Yeah. So overall, this is actually really interesting just looking at how it works. That there's just so many ways that it can do it, and it's on almost every Wi-Fi router. And the article I've read shows like 11 different routers they tested. That's not saying it's only on those 11 routers, it's on all the routers, but they just tested a bunch of them and they all had the problem. We're talking like Netgear, Asus, TP-Link, D-Link,
All the big ones.
all the big ones that most people use have this vulnerability. But then again, it necessarily isn't. It's not too big since they have to be connected to your network near-ish by your home. So, like I said, just make sure no one's out in your backyard with a computer or anything like that.
And if you connect to a public network, always just use like a VPN or Samsung Secure Wi-Fi or the Google Pixel or the iPhone equivalent. If you connect to a public Wi-Fi, Samsung has like Secure Wi-Fi where it automatically just connects to a VPN for free. Google has a version of it. I'm pretty sure Apple has a version of it too. I don't remember what it's called, but just make sure that's turned on
It's
if you
called
ever connect
Private
to.
Relay.
Yeah, private relay. Just make sure it's turned on whenever you connect to a public network.
Yeah. And then moving on to something else that is good, but also kind of creepy that the way they're doing it is
Oh no, this
the
is not good.
Discord age verification. I'll let you start.
Okay, so Discord is in a lot of hot water right now because everyone uses Discord. I personally use Discord. Well, everyone that has ever like played a video game in their life, they use Discord to communicate and chat with their friends. Even companies use Discord for like instead of what?
I don't use it.
Okay, but like instead of using GroupMe or Slack, which are trash, you can use Discord. Discord's pretty good. I mean, it's not meant for businesses, but you can use it. I absolutely despise GroupMe and Slack. They're just awful. I'm sorry, they're not good. You can yell at me for that, but they're not good. I've used both. So Discord,
Basically, all the features don't work in GroupMe.
yeah. I mean, it's like, oh, we could do this new feature. Press it, the whole entire app crashes. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. What's the point of adding if it doesn't work? Okay. Discord is now requiring age checks, which is basically if you're over or under 18, they have to verify you are over 18 or you're under 18, which everyone freaked out. It's like, they want everyone's ID. You have to upload either a face scan or your personal ID, which is partly true, partly not true. That is what Discord was doing, but it was only to access restricted features. It was only to access like sensitive content, servers that have sensitive content, or like third-party connection softwares. But everyone freaked out about that. He said, I don't want to verify that I'm adult. I don't want to verify that, even though I am. I mean, I personally don't want to upload a face scan to Discord. I personally don't want to give them ID either. And especially because they're doing it with a company called Persona. And Persona's on hot water for just lying about everything that they do. Because Persona was supposed to be on device. It wasn't on device. Persona uploads it to the cloud and processes it on cloud. That's not on device. And it's deleted immediately. No, it deletes it after 24 hours. That's not immediately. Don't lie to us. And then there's also, they are in talks with another company that's in talks with the government, which I don't want to sound political or whatnot, but they're in talks with the government indirectly, which I'm not a fan of. I don't want to verify Discord, and then my verification from Discord is verified in the US government at the same time, too. I'm not a fan of that. And especially because Discord has had, they've had private details leaked before. This, back when Australia required that Discord do this, they had, was it 100,000 records stolen or something like that? Maybe 1 million records stolen of people's IDs because of a server malfunction error in a third-party client that they used for verification. But Since then, they've retracted that statement. They're like, "Oh, wait. This is only coming to some users, and this is going to come out in trial betas in some countries," because everyone was really upset about it. So Discord has kind of stepped back a little bit, but they probably are still going to go through with it. They've already invested all the money in the software, and they already have a plan to go through with it. So most likely, they're just postponing till it dies down and then release it.
Yeah, so this, I mean, starting out with just like the problem that this is addressing, honestly, I'm not exactly sure how Discord works, but like, what content would there be on there that's bad? It's just chatting with
Oh,
people, unless the
yeah, no. Yeah, no. Think about Reddit. It's like Reddit, but not recorded. It's like Reddit for everyone. It's not good, depending where you're going on. With Discord, it's servers. Like you join a server with like 2,000 people in it. 2,000 people can just talk openly to each other with no censorship whatsoever. It's not good. So I see why they're adding this.
yeah. So I mean, and honestly, like, are there people under 18 shouldn't be or doing bad things or whatever, which is obviously a good thing. It's just I don't like the way that they're doing this. With like it just sounds sketchy. But I mean, it's better than at least banning everything together like the Australian social media ban. I just don't know. I just hope they find a better and more secure way of doing this, honestly. That's like my main thing. Other than that, I definitely see the point behind it.
But guess what? California has a way to do it better. No. No. Okay, so they're
This
like,
is
"Oh, wait,
horrible.
let's not do an age check per company. Let's do age check per device." I'm sorry, what? Okay, so California is trying to pass a bill right now to require devices to verify your age and use that for verification for
At an
websites
OS level too.
at the OS level. Okay, so bear with me here. Windows. I don't think I have to say much more, and your brain's going. You have to verify who you are with Windows. You have to give Microsoft your ID. You have to give your Microsoft your facial scan per device you own. No, no, I'm not a fan of this whatsoever.
And and also from what I've been doing some looking into it, it sounds like one way they could possibly be doing this is not by when you first unbox your new iPhone, you have to show your ID before you can set it up, but no, like, it will collect data as you use your phone to guess what or to gather data on you for this. That's one from what it looks like from because I read literally there's an official legislature document from California that you can read about this. Now, this
Yeah,
is thankfully just California right now, but no, this is not good.
yes, and they do that. They're doing that because you can forge an ID as much as you want. Because you can just take your father's ID and upload it, and your father is going to be like, "Oh, you want to use your computer? Sure, here's my ID. You can use your computer now." They're going to do that. So what it's going to do is make sure that you're verified, and then collect your user data even more than it already does, and then try to figure out how old you are and the things that you like and your exact purchasing habits and all of that. And this the problem with age verification is that you can age verify with someone that is of age. You can verify you're of age with your father, with your mother, with your grandparents, with a video game character. Like people held their camera up to like I forgot what video character it was, but it was some guy from from um I don't remember what the game was called, but it was some video game character, and they held it up and it verified. And the problem is the video game character was only half human, even in that video game, which was absolutely hilarious. It's like, "Oh yeah, you're of age, you're like 40." And it was a 12-year-old that did that.
So, yeah, this is even more horrible than the Discord because it's gonna be collecting so much data on you. And another thing is that why do we need this? Just have this for stuff that is bad. Just have it where out of the box you can't access the actual bad things. There's no reason why you need this for all of the other things that you can do with your phone. You don't need age verification to take a picture. You don't, like, that's just stupid in my opinion. There's not a reason why you need this. It's not like you're. I just don't see a need for this on the OS level. It should be, if you're trying to access something that is adult content, yeah, then do that, but not on for just the OS in general, in my opinion.
And right now, Colorado's in talks of adapting the bill and putting it into Colorado law too right now. It's not official, but they're talking about doing that. So hopefully that does not go through. But I'm sure there's going to be some workaround somehow, like everyone switch over to Linux and the problem won't exist. You know? But anyway, there's something new that's coming out. After like 10 years of talking about it, NVIDIA is finally, probably, maybe this year, going to announce their new ARM CPU that we've known so much about for so long. I mean, it's been like 10, 12 years, and they're like, we have an ARM CPU coming. And then 10 years go by, we have an ARM CPU coming. 10 years go by, oh, hey, guess what? We do actually have an ARM CPU coming by. And it's going to be called the N1 and the N1X, which is an ARM-based laptop processor. It's in partnership with MediaTek, which is it going to be a good computer chip is my question, because MediaTek has cheap computer chips. They have cheap phone chips. They have cheap chips. They're not that good. I mean, they have a couple good ones, but most of them are cheap. And it's going to be for Windows PCs. Great. Okay, so the chip might not be that good. And the chip's going to be Windows on ARM. I'm sorry, Windows on ARM is still not very good. Windows isn't very good. Windows on ARM isn't very good. And this chip's not going to be very good. It might be a plan for disaster, because not good, not good, not good is not going to be good.
Yeah, so we've already seen companies like Snapdragon enter the computer ARM CPU chip market, like Apple did with Apple Silicon, and now NVIDIA. And I honestly don't know if this is going to be that good, like you were saying. I mean, it doesn't sound like it's going to end up being that good, and also just because Windows on ARM is not that good, optimization for Windows is like really horrible, so it's going to be really bad. I mean, looking at some of the rumored specs, like up to a 20-core CPU and an RTX 5070 level integrated graphics GPU, I'm not sure if that's true. This is all just rumored, and I couldn't even find where they got these rumors from. I mean, if these specs are good, then, I mean, I guess it could actually be really close to, like, some really good Apple Silicon. Like, I kind of was worried that maybe this would be better than Apple Silicon, but it's turning out like it may not be.
I mean, especially because it's with MediaTek, I'm very hesitant that's going to be better than Apple Silicon. I'm very hesitant on that.
Yeah, and honestly, I just think I'm pretty sure the main reason why they're doing this is just to compete with Apple. Because, I don't know. But I honestly don't know. Overall, I don't think it's going to be that good.
I do think that there's only one redeeming feature about this chip. It's going to have 1,000 TOPS, or TOPS, NPU, aka AI processor, which that's actually not bad. Not bad at all. It's 1,000 TOPS. That's pretty good. If you want to do an AI data farm, you could use those chips. They would be pretty good. I mean, it would be cheaper than a bunch of GPUs and cheaper than buying a bunch of Mac Minis. Like, a lot of people do AI farms with Mac Minis now because they're cheap and they have good AI performance. This would have better AI performance. Probably less overall performance, but better AI performance. But what do you need an AI server farm for, though?
No,
what do you need it for?
No, we're tired of AI server farm data centers in space and Elon Musk and all of our resources going by and Sam Altman comparing human life to it, and no.
Oh, yes.
No.
Sam Altman made a claim there he was like, "Guys, it's really mean for you to, it's really mean for you to say that AI is taking all your resources because what about humans? They take resources." I'm sorry. Let that sink in for a second. He just compared us to a computer. He just compared us to taking resources from a computer. I'm sorry, if it's up to me to have one glass of water or a computer to have one glass of water, I'm pretty sure any rational human being will think they want the glass of water so they don't starve or dehydrate themselves to death. This is not the same thing, and for him to compare his computer to a human life is absolutely insane.
Yeah, when I first saw this, I was honestly furious with him. In my opinion, that comparison is literally inhumane, comparing a human to a AI. Nothing, an AI is not as valuable as a human life. AI does not have a soul. Like, that is inhumane in my opinion. What? What? Like, no. No. No.
Y-
It's no.
uh, Okay, think about it this way. Again, if you had the choice to feed a child that's about to starve or get your question on how hot the sun is from an AI, who cares about how hot the sun is for a computer to tell you that? It's a human. It's a human being. That is a computer that answers questions for people. You can answer questions asking other people or asking things that aren't AI. You can go to a website that's not AI and answer the question. You are not in dire need of that one question that you can cause other people to suffer or even die for it.
It's just, honestly, that is not. That is that is a very like horrific thing for him to say. Like, I don't even know how he could say that. That is so like I don't even know more.
That really shows
Like,
what money, self-worth, and ego can do to you. You have care for you, yourself, and your company. No one else and nothing else.
mhm. And speaking of companies and people, Phil Spencer is leaving Xbox, and replacing him is a woman, I forgot her name,
Mm.
who has only had experience in AI and none in gaming. What
Why?
are you thinking, Microsoft? Xbox has already been dying. Console sales have been down. They haven't been coming out with anything new. They just announced that the new Halo game is coming to PlayStation. What are you thinking? No, that you keep raising the prices of the Xbox. There's nothing new about it. There's and and now you're replacing your CEO with an AI executive? What? Like, I get that he wants to retire. He's been there for 40 years, okay? I get it. But you're putting someone who's an AI, and from what I know, she's only been there for 2 years and has only had 2 years of an experience.
Okay,
What were they thinking?
why is everything AI right now? I mean, yes, it was like such a big popular product and whatnot, but why? Why? Everything that we've been talking about like today. Okay, the new phone, AI.
AI.
Apple with Apple Intelligence, it's AI. They didn't specifically mention that, but there's AI in that. The new like the face scanning feature is usually AI.
AI.
Their new NVIDIA's new chip, AI. And
AI.
Sam Altman talking about AI is taking our
AI.
food. Now, Phil Spencer is being replaced with an AI representative. Okay, yes, Phil Spencer, you're good to go. You served your duty. You've started a great company and then drove it to the ground into rubble. I understand that because Xbox right now is in the dumps. But why, out of any person they could have chose, does it have to be an AI specialist, AI like administrator? I mean, she did come out and say that they don't plan to make their games AI slop. But then the Xbox app gave a test notification to every Xbox app user, and it said, this is a text from, I forgot the company's name. That company's name that was in that Xbox text was an AI company. I don't know if you saw this or not, but they were sending out test messages through the Xbox app, and it was from a company that's primary goal is AI and AI first. So for her to say we're not turning into AI slop, and then for them, like quite a few, like literally 2 or 3 days later, having that test notification for this AI company, there's a red flag there. They have to be doing something AI there. And pretty much any AI is AI slop, to be honest. I mean, yeah, some AI is good. Some AI uses to like detect cancer before it happens. That's good. Some AI just helps you use your phone. That's good. But the rest of it's not very good.
Yeah, and even if she does not implement AI into this, she has no experience in gaming, so why is she leading a gaming company?
Yeah.
Even if she doesn't implement AI, she's not going to make good decisions for a gaming company.
Yeah, people looked up her Xbox account, and she had like, I think it was like 10 hours total in her Xbox account. I'm sorry, that's as much as you ever played in your life, and you're in charge of Xbox? I mean, yes, Xbox is like in the dumps. It's trash. It's awful right now. But please just do something with it good. You could have picked so many other people that would have been happy to help fix Xbox, but you picked her. I mean, there's nothing wrong with her necessarily. It's just that's not what her job is. That's not what she's been doing her whole life. If hypothetically, I hire you, Danny, to be in charge of a restaurant, a Michelin star restaurant, how do you think that'll go?
Honestly, I mean, especially if no training, like, really bad. Like, I mean, it'd be one thing if I maybe was working at Chick-fil-A, but like a Michelin star restaurant? Like, no, it would not go well.
Yeah, exactly, because that's not your specific specialty. Your specialty is not making Michelin star food. It's not making a good restaurant. You're better at tech and that kind of stuff. Same with me. I'm not good at making food. I enjoy tech. I enjoy like hanging out with people. I enjoy speaking, that kind of stuff. And you're just putting the wrong person in the wrong spot at the wrong time. You put the wrong person in position at the wrong time. The Xbox is already like burning down, and you're just putting someone there to ease the pain. She can't ease the pain, let alone run it.
Yeah, I like you said, Microsoft was already in a dumpster fire, and when I saw this story, I was like, "Oh my goodness, Microsoft does not know what they're doing with themselves. This is just." It was honestly kind of funny, just because what they've been doing lately, but, uh, more AI type of stuff. And this has to do with Anthropic and them being used for the military. So, basically what happened is I didn't actually know this, but the government has been using AI, including Anthropic, for, like, quite a long while in the government. And when Anthropic, I believe, I don't know if I'm saying that right, when they originally had their deal, in the contract/terms of service was that they do not want their AI to be used for 1, mass surveillance, and 2, fully autonomous weapons. Fast forward to now, apparently the government or Trump, not exactly sure which, wanted to use it for either one of those or both. We don't know exactly what it was wanting to be used for, but it was one of those 2 things, or both. And Anthropic, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, said, "No, we're not doing this. It's not in our original terms of agreement." So, apparently that made the government mad, and Trump has now banned it, or not really banned it, but I mean, technically banned it because he doesn't want them using any Anthropic in any government offices, and now they're phasing it out. But here's the deal. ChatGPT and Sam Altman have now signed a deal to replace them. But the weird thing is that originally Sam Altman was like, this is not, we agree, we don't want this, this is just not good. And then, literally less than 24 hours later, he changed his mind and signed a deal with the government, which tells me he's doing this for money, probably. That's what I'm
Oh, yeah,
assuming.
absolutely. It's if they say something and then instantly do something else, it's usually always for money.
Yeah. So, overall, not trying to get too political about this, I personally do not think AI should be used for the military, for those type of things. Maybe if a government office uses it to draft up something real quick, okay, But for a fully autonomous weapons and well, they're both really bad, but also mass surveillance, I personally think is not okay whatsoever. And
Yeah,
honestly,
especially if it were to have a hallucination, like AIs do.
yeah, and honestly, I also think that it wasn't necessarily right of the government to come out being mad at Anthropic when it was in their original statement. Again, not trying to be too political. So I honestly think this is really crazy.
Yeah. And it's especially if it's in charge of military stuff, that's gonna be awful. I don't want an AI guiding my missile at all. One slight variable incorrect, one slight hiccup of the server that it's running on, and that missile could do so many things because it's not human controlled. Yeah, absolutely, humans can make mistakes too. I understand that, but it's not like an AI which can do whatever it wants, and it doesn't understand the task. It can do a task, but it doesn't understand why or how it's doing what it's doing. It's just doing it. And if it makes a mistake, it's not like it may say, "Oh, I'm sorry," but it's not actually sorry. It does not have a understanding of what's wrong, what's right. And I don't want, and for mass surveillance too. No, we already have enough with that, with like the flock cameras coming in and whatnot. I mean, they just installed a flock camera on my street a couple feet down. We don't need that kind of surveillance. Yes, it can help crime. Yes, but it also can be used for anything else besides crime.
Yeah, and I, I, I just, and this honestly just kind of not made me realize how much they've been using AI. I was honestly kind of dumbfounded by this, just because, like, you mean they've been using AI for these things, and now they're wanting to do it even more? I mean, that is not good at all, in my opinion. And
Yeah, we
especially,
don't need it. We don't need a government run by AI. I mean, if because people are going to use these tools way too much in the government. If you give them the tools, they're going to use it as much to make their job as easy as possible. And that's basically making our government completely run by a robot.
yeah, and also one thing I think it was a bit not right is that they criticized Anthropic for this, even though it was in their original terms of agreement. And, like, I get it. You're upset that this doesn't work out because it's what you worked for, even though, in my opinion, what they wanted to use it for isn't good. But you still don't have to criticize them like that. And I don't think it should be used in general for those things. But I agree with the uh, standards that Anthropic had. Again, I don't think it should be used, period, for those types of things.
Hmm.
But still.
Yep. And because they didn't agree to the terms, someone in the government, I don't remember which person, called it a national security risk. And it's like, guys, it's not a national security risk because they didn't agree with you. I mean, if it was my company and my AI, I wouldn't want it used for anything like that because one, it'll give me a bad reputation if it goes wrong. And two, I don't want that much pressure on me. I don't want my AI in charge of stuff that has significant problems. I don't want to be responsible for death. I don't want to be responsible for choices and actions. And Anthropic was completely in their right to say, hey, we're not doing that. And you see Sam Altman or whatever, ChatGPT, they're like, so does that mean we can come and do that? Because originally they said they weren't going to, but then it's like, oh, we get paid to do this? Okay, yeah, we got you. And I I don't see this going any better than it already has. I mean, it's just going to get worse at this point. I don't see how continue using AI is going to improve much anything in the government.
Yeah, and especially since these are literally consumer AIs. I mean, I don't know if they have a special version, but still. Yeah. Well, moving on, we have some more bad news, again, caused by AI, because,
Oh yeah,
it's
every single
unfair that
topic
we
today is
compare to
about AI.
resources, because it's unfair that you're mad at AI that it is taking up all our RAM, but you're not mad at humans for living, just saying. Sam Altman. Anyway, Steam Deck is now in the trenches with this RAM shortage. I literally went to their website yesterday. Every single console they had out of stock right now.
Yeah, because Valve, the owner of Steam, the big multi-million-dollar company, cannot buy RAM. They cannot get RAM for their devices at all, period. They're like, hey, we have devices, but we don't have any RAM to put in the devices, so we can't sell anything till we get some RAM. I mean, even think about this. Samsung just sold 100% of their manufacturing capacity on one of their nodes to Apple. Apple has signed a deal with Samsung on one of their nodes to get 100% of all that node's capacity. And speaking of which, that capacity could have gone to the Samsung's own phones. But Apple's like, hey, no, we'll pay more. We'll pay more for this RAM. And you just see all the outages because of AI, all these companies needing more GPUs, which use a lot of RAM to run these models on the device level itself. And it just needs more and more and more and more and more of it to be able to run. And then they can pay a lot of money because they're getting a lot of money from sponsors and investors. They give them a lot of money, so they have enough money to pay the exorbitant prices. We don't. Valve doesn't. And Valve is, mind you, multi-million-dollar company, and they don't have enough money to buy RAM.
Yeah, this just shows how the RAM shortage is affecting. Because I feel like when it first happened, it was bad, but we didn't really see the effects. Now, we are sadly seeing the effects of it. Samsung raised the price of their budget phones, or not budget phones, I mean their base phones, with nothing new. And honestly, it might be just to cope with this RAM shortage. Steam Decks, they're all out of stock because of this RAM shortage. I literally looked up. It's like $300 now for just a basic 16 gigabytes of RAM on Amazon, which is literally more than Apple charges, mind you. I'm like, this is actually getting horrific now. It was already
Yeah.
horrific when it started, but now we're seeing that horrific outcome of the RAM shortage. And it's all caused because of AI. Thanks, Sam Altman. Thanks.
Yeah, when we started this podcast, I remember we talking about 64 or 96 gig of RAM?
I think
I think
it was like 32 or something.
Okay, I don't remember how expensive it was, but let me open this up here. And right now, that memory kit that we were originally looking at, I'm pretty sure it's the same one here. Select that option. It is $500. I don't remember if that's more or less. $500. Mm, yeah. Anyway, I think it was a 96 gig, was it?
I'm not honestly sure.
But right now, I don't have a price listing, like a price graph right here. But right now, that's $500 for 32 gigs. Okay, let's put that into perspective. My phone has 8 gigs of RAM. So divide that $500 by 4. That's about $120 or whatnot. $125 for just the RAM in my phone. Just the RAM, which the RAM used to be like $30 inside the phone. That is insane.
And I mean, going back to that RAM you were talking about, that was $500. That's the price of a literal Mac Mini, which is a whole computer plus 16 gigabytes of RAM and storage, and 250 gigabytes of storage. That is insane.
Yeah, let me see. I just pulled it up into this price graph thing. I don't know how accurate this is. Okay, when we looked at it last, it was $400. Now it is $500. Oh, and guess what? If you want to buy this at what's it? Newegg. Newegg is the largest largest computer part retailer. It is $1,782 right now.
Oh my word.
$1,782. And that's from the largest computer part distributor in the world right now. Okay, so Best Buy right now has it on a steal in comparison.
That is insane. That must be like leftover stock or something.
Oh, yeah, they say they have 2 in stock left. That's probably why it's so expensive, but they have 2 left in stock at Newegg.
Wow, that is crazy. So yeah, these RAM this is really getting bad, honestly. The future is it's gonna be rough for technology coming up in prices. This is like the worst thing to happen in our economy right now, honestly. Like, ugh.
Yeah, we don't need more AI products. We need AI products that are better or nothing at all. Because I'm willing to have a less powerful AI if that means that prices of RAM and storage and computers of itself are cheaper. I'm willing to take that sacrifice if everything else is cheaper and my AI is worse. I do not want the best AI in the world if I can't afford anything else.
Yeah. And moving on, last week we talked about HP leasing their PCs, but now PlayStation in the UK only, keep in mind, and also some other like third-party retailers are now leasing their PlayStations. Now hear me out. I honestly think this makes kind of more sense than the HP, and I can kind of see a use case. I don't know, maybe you're going on a vacation with a couple friends and you just want to have a PS5 for a week to play some games. But, like I said last time, this signals the future of the quote, you will own nothing and you'll be happy. Because more and more companies are going to subscription. And now they're saying that physical objects are now rentable and you cannot buy them. What this signals is 10 years down the road. Does that mean if I go to buy a new MacBook, I'll have to pay monthly installments and I'll never own it? And they expect me to be happy about it? I mean, this is not okay. This is not okay.
Yeah, and for the renting a PlayStation, it is on a lease. It's not like you can pay month to month. You can, but it is $27 month to month, which is really bad. But let's say if you lease it for 12 months, you pay $21. Oh wait, these are pounds. 21 pounds. I'm not sure what that equates into dollars, but 21 pounds. Can you look that up for me? 21 pounds for 12 months. So 21 pounds times 12, which is how much?
It's about 29 US dollars.
Okay, let's say $30 then. Okay, so $30 for whoa, wait a second. $30 for 12 months. $30 for 12 months. That's $360. Really? Yeah, so
nice.
if you want a PlayStation for 1 year, it's $360.
Okay, because I saw one place, it was like $40 a week. I don't know.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was a third
That's
party.
if you do monthly. If you do monthly, it's that much. If you
Wow.
if you do it for a lease for a year, it is cheaper. So if that's $30, that's gonna be another 10, that's gonna be about
It's gonna be 40.
45. Yeah, okay. So, like, yeah, that's about $540 for 1 year. So, if you do month to month, you'll have already bought in yourself a PlayStation by the end of that year. And you don't own it because you have to return it. You don't get to keep it.
Yeah.
But
Also,
there is a better side to this because maybe you just wanna play one game that's only on PS5. Then it makes sense, just pay for 1 month up front, finish that game, and send it back. That makes sense, but it's completely impractical if that's not what you're doing.
yeah, and again, it just signifies that future of you will own nothing and be happy, which I
I won't be
honestly,
happy.
no, and that would be horrible, genuinely unacceptable. It's just that seems like that's the way it's going. And Nvidia is also doing some other things currently, but this time it's bad because they're not making any new GPUs, consumer GPUs, until 2028,
Okay,
and it's obviously because of, guess what? AI. I doubt
okay.
you didn't guess that.
This is a double-edged sword. There's a good part and a bad part to it, and a worse part to it. The good part is that, hey, NVIDIA's GPUs were already really badly priced compared to AMD and Intel, whatnot. So that's kinda good. More games will be optimized for AMD and Intel now, not just NVIDIA, because NVIDIA will be no longer the top player because they're not gonna be making any more GPUs until, like, 2028. But then there's the bad part. It's like they're stopping making GPUs, so there's less competition in the space now. I mean, yeah, there's AMD and Intel kinda, but Intel has, like, less than 0.8% of the market share. They don't have many GPUs out there right now. So it's gonna be AMD, and AMD has the chance to raise the price as high as they want now because there's no one else to stop them. There's no other option right now. I mean, yeah, there's some weird off-brand ones, but those aren't good. And then there's the worst part. It's like they're doing this because of AI, and who's to say that they won't only make AI now, and they are going to completely stop, not come back in 2028, but just stop indefinitely. That would make a monopoly of AMD and Intel. Well, probably not even Intel because, yet again, they're not the big player here. It would just make it. It's just hot.
Yeah, and it's
Why?
gonna give less options to the users, and the problem is if because AMD is gonna be really the only one, honestly, and it's gonna become a monopoly, and then AMD can just kinda stop being good and just making mediocre things, but no one will have an option. I honestly,
Apple, Samsung, Google Pixel. Sorry.
what?
I'm sorry. Apple, Samsung, Google Pixel. Um, they've stopped making new stuff, kind of. The iPhone, yeah, it's good, but they could do so much more. So can Samsung. So can definitely Google Pixel. They could do so much more, but they're not doing it because they are
Google
at the
Pixel
top.
today.
Yep. I can't wait for the 11A to come out to be even samer than the last one.
No, what they're gonna do is they're going to, um, just change the number and increase the price for the 11A. I guarantee you,
Oh,
probably.
yeah.
That's the
Oh,
like,
by the way, what's new about the iPhone 17e?
probably Dynamic Island. It will finally have MagSafe, then A19 chip. Um, probably the new selfie camera.
Hmm. Okay,
Um,
so what would set it apart from that in the base phone? Just the under 20 hertz screen, or would be something else?
well, of course, the base phone has 2 cameras, so you won't have the
Hmm.
ultra wide camera. You won't have the 120 hertz display.
What else?
Um,
Is
I
that
think
it?
it's not as fast charging. There's also a lot of camera features, believe it or not, that don't work, like cinematic mode, action mode, spatial video recording, although if you're buying a $3,500 headset, I doubt you're getting the 17E. But, and there's a few other things. Display is slightly bigger. It will be 6.1 versus 6.3, which isn't a big difference.
Okay. And what's the price difference?
I think it's like $200. The E will be like $599, and the 17's like $799.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, if it was $300, no, just get the better one. But if it's $200, then I can see it kind of being comparable.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hopefully all of this AI just either one, like they said, pops and everything hopefully goes back to normal. But if it pops, there's a good chance that we'll have the exact opposite problem. If the AI bubble pops and all of these contracts for RAM dissolve, we're going to have an influx of RAM and storage that's either one, unusable to the market, or two, is going to flood the market so much to the point where it's going to become almost invaluable. Like, because you can't have a product like a piece of RAM that's 10 cents. I mean, you can, but it's just going to mess up the whole entire market factor. Everything is going to, the prices are going to vary wildly, and you're going to have influx of oversupply, which usually is not a problem, but it definitely could be a problem if we have an oversupply of product that we can't use. It's either going to go to the landfill, or we're going to be using the same product for years down the line and not ever get any new improved product.
Yeah, and honestly, back at the start of this year, we were kind of talking about 2025 and what this year holds, and I was just like, I just want something beyond AI. But here we are in March, and things are just getting worse, it seems like.
Yeah, but I think that not too long from now, everyone realize how not important AI really is. And
a lot of consumers have already realized that and don't want AI. It's mainly the big companies that want it.
Yeah, it's just the investors right now. It's just the investors like, this is the good new thing. And it really isn't. I mean, yeah, it's helpful. Like, for example, I use Gemini on my phone like twice a day, maybe at least once a day. And I just like ask it this question, I ask it that question. But the thing is, I could have searched it. I don't need that feature.
Yeah.
But at least we'll have more AI generated images of Will Smith eating spaghetti. That's always a positive. Well, thank you guys for listening to the Byte-Sized Brief this episode. Have a great day, guys. See you in the next one.